I started by finding a nice vocal sample.
I can't slow down, shouting loud, got me running red lights. Oh, I just can't get you out of my mind.
Damn, Splice has some catchy vocals. Then I made some emotional chords.
I can't slow down, shouting loud, got me running red lights. Oh, I just can't get you out of my mind. I can't slow down, raising wild, speeding into the night. Oh, I just can't get you out of my mind. Yeah.
Now my friends, we're gonna make a powerful drop, and we're gonna start by making a punchy bass line. I started with a bass preset from Serum, and I made this bass line. Then I added some more bass layers to make the bass bigger. The last bass layer I added was a sub-bass preset. Now guys, to make the bass punch harder, we're gonna add a few mixing effects. We're gonna begin by mixing the mid-bass layers, aka all the bass layers except for the sub. I started with some OTT for compression, then a bit more compression with Camel Crusher, then an EQ to remove some ugly frequencies, a sound goodizer on mode C to add more power, and a final EQ removing the highest of highs and lowest of lows. And lastly, a fruity stereo shaper. This, my friends, was the mid-bass before the mixing. And this is after. Now let's quickly beef up the sub-bass layer. We're gonna turn it from this into this. And we're gonna do this by adding distortion, OTT, sound goodizer, and an EQ. Now guys, to make the bass hit a little harder, I added a percussion sound in the same rhythm as the bass line. I also added a bass shot on top that only plays on some of the notes in the bass line to make them stand out more. And lastly, I added this reversed bass shot sample, which makes the bass feel a lot more alive. Now my lovely people, let's make a cool lead melody. I started with this lead preset from Serum, playing the same melody as the vocal we found in the beginning. And then I added some more different sounding lead layers to make it fatter and bigger. Now to make the lead just a bit bigger, we're gonna add a very short reverb, which makes it sound like the lead is being played in a small room. And after that, we're gonna add a normal reverb with a much longer decay time. And we're gonna control this second reverb with a reverb automation like this. Now we also want to make the lead a lot more powerful, so we're gonna add a few mixing effects to achieve that. First, we're gonna add some OTT for compression, then an EQ to make it cleaner, then a sound goodizer on mode D, which makes the lead bigger, a fruity stereo shaper to make it wider in the mix, and I also added a fruity stereo enhancer to add a bit more stereo separation, which makes it a bit bigger in the mix. And lastly, I added this plugin that makes the lead pan just a tiny bit from side to side, just to make it 10% more interesting. This was the lead before we added the mixing effects. And this is after. And this is what we have so far for the drop. Now guys, we're gonna add some powerful chords that play in the second half of the drop. I used this Serum preset, which sounds like a dance piano, and copied the chords we made in the beginning of the video, and I chopped them up in the same rhythm as the bass line. Then I added a synth chord layer from Serum on top to fill out the chords. Now we're just gonna add a few mixing effects on the chords to make them sit very tight together with the rest of the drop. We're gonna add quite a bit of compression with OTT, then an EQ removing the lows, but also the highs so it won't clash with the lead. Then I added a second EQ to remove some ugly frequencies. And lastly a fruity stereo shaper to make the chords really wide in the mix. This, my friends, was before the mixing. And this is after. Now lastly we're gonna quickly add some tight drums and effects. I started with a punchy kick and a clap. Then I added an atmosphere sample and removed the high end. And a downlifter. I also added some more sounds in the second half of the drop. I added a second downlifter. Another atmosphere sound that I chopped up to fit with the lead melody. And 2 drum loops. Now guys and gals, before I show you the final result, I would truly appreciate it if you checked out my EDM sample pack. Link is in the description. If you get the pack, you'll get 6 FLPs, 280 samples, and 150 Serum presets, all made for future house, bass house, slap house, and deep house. Here's a sneak peek of 2 of the FLPs from the pack.
I can't slow down, shouting loud, got me running red lights. Oh, I just can't get you out of my mind. I can't slow down, raising wild, speeding into the night. Oh, I just can't get you out of my mind. I can't slow down,